Every day, you're being tested, not by some formal exam, not by some obvious challenge, but by the small, almost invisible moments where people cross your boundaries, disrespect your time, or question your worth. And in those moments, what you accept quietly today becomes what you'll suffer from repeatedly tomorrow. The respect you receive from the world isn't random. Today, I'm going to show you the 7 behaviors that, once you allow them even once, will slowly destroy your self-respect, your relationships, and ultimately your life. These are the non-negotiables, the zero-tolerance behaviors that separate the men who command respect from those who beg for it. Look around you. Most men you see are living lives of quiet desperation. They're putting up with disrespect, settling for less, and making excuses for why things are the way they are. And they all started with the same fatal mistake, allowing one small behavior they should have immediately shut down. Your time is the one resource you can never get back. Every minute that passes is gone forever, yet most men let others waste it without consequence. When someone shows up late without a genuine apology, they're saying their time is more valuable than yours. When they cancel plans at the last minute, they're betting you'll still be available next time. When they interrupt you constantly, they're showing they don't value what you have to say. Here's the zero-tolerance response. For the chronically late, leave. Don't wait, don't reschedule. For the flaky, remove the option to waste your time again. No second chances on short notice. For the interrupters, stop them firmly, then continue without apology. The moment you defend your time with actions, not just words, everything changes. People sense the shift in value you place on yourself. Pay attention to how people speak to you. Not just the words, but the tone, the body language, the intent. When someone speaks down to you, interrupts you repeatedly, or dismisses your input without consideration, they're not just being rude, they're testing your boundaries. The zero-tolerance approach. First, name it directly. Then, create distance. Physically step back, create silence, or leave the interaction entirely. Never match their poor communication with your own. A man's word should be his bond. But we live in a society where commitments have become suggestions and promises are broken without thought. When someone promises something and fails to deliver, when they make commitments they don't keep, they're telling you directly, you're not important enough for me to follow through. The zero-tolerance approach. First warning. Clearly state your expectation for reliability. Second occurrence, remove them from positions of importance in your life. No more chances to prove they're unreliable. Remember, you're not punishing them. You're protecting your own standards. The people around you will treat you exactly how you teach them to treat you. In a world obsessed with oversharing, maintaining personal boundaries has become rare. But strong men understand the power of privacy. When someone looks through your phone without permission, pressures you to share personal information, or shares your private matters with others, they're violating a fundamental boundary. The zero-tolerance approach for privacy violations. Immediate, direct confrontation. That's private, don't do that again. No smile, no softening. For information sharing. Create strong information boundaries. Not everyone deserves access to your personal life. For gossips. Remove them completely. Anyone who talks about others to you will talk about you to others. Few things cut deeper than being diminished in front of others, whether it's a friend making you the butt of a joke, a partner questioning your decisions in public, or a colleague taking credit for your work. When someone challenges your authority, questions your competence, or diminishes your contribution in front of others, they're attempting to elevate themselves by pushing you down. The zero-tolerance approach. Address it immediately, not later. Never wait for a second occurrence. The first time it happens is when you establish whether it will happen again. The most dangerous violations aren't the obvious ones. They're the subtle manipulations, the small lies, the half-truths that create a foundation of distrust. When someone tries to make you question your own reality, uses guilt to control your behavior, or selectively shares information to mislead you, they're not just being dishonest. They're attempting to control you. The zero tolerance approach. First, trust your instincts. That feeling that something isn't right is usually correct. Second, seek verification. Third, create distance without explanation. Manipulators feed on your justifications. The final and perhaps most important boundary involves your core values, the principles that define who you are. When someone pressures you to compromise your principles, mocks what you believe in, or tries to shame you for standing by your convictions, they're attacking something far more important than your ego. They're attacking your identity. The zero tolerance approach. Never defend your values to those who don't respect them. Simply state, these are my principles. Remove yourself from environments that consistently conflict with your core beliefs. And most importantly, never apologize for having strict standards about what matters to you. A man without clear values is easily influenced. A man who doesn't defend his values doesn't truly have them. These 7 behaviors demand zero tolerance, not because you're rigid or difficult, but because what you accept becomes your standard. Every time you allow disrespect, unreliability, invasion of privacy, public undermining, manipulation, dishonesty, or attacks on your values, you're silently announcing, this is what I believe I deserve. And here's the truth, most men never realize until it's too late. Respect isn't given. It's not even earned. It's taken by establishing clear boundaries with real consequences. Starting today, I want you to notice these behaviors when they appear. Not just from others, but from yourself too. Are you tolerating what you shouldn't? Are you allowing what should be unacceptable? Your answer to those questions will determine everything about the quality of your life, your relationships, and your self-respect moving forward. At Value Club, I'm building a brotherhood of men who refuse to settle in their standards, in their relationships, in their lives. If these words hit you in your core, don't wait to take the next step. Follow now. The path to becoming a man of uncompromising standards isn't something you can start someday. Make your choice right now. Your future self is already looking back at this moment, either grateful you took action or disappointed you waited.